5 years to be rich, 5 years to own resources. If you don't work in these 5 years to be that, you will suffer. That means if you're broke after these 5 years, you're done. You will not have permission. Money will be used as permission. This is not the end of the world, he said. It is the end of the world you were trained for. I saw a mark, listen, pass through the land. In 5 years, it will be too late. Hear this. The word of the Lord came to me in the watches of the night, as we call it in the prophetic, as it came to Ezekiel. And if you read the book of Ezekiel, it will be easy for you to understand. See, I was just in my bedroom and I felt as if sleep was fleeing from me. All right. And then as the ceiling vanished and the walls vanished. And sometimes I normally feel like the flesh wants to jump off my bones. All right. And in that vision was lifted. Not in joy and not in comfort, but in dread. These things happen. And the Lord stood above me. His countenance turned, his silence heavier than speech. It was something heavy. See, this is the direction of what he says when you are used to the King James Version. It comes in that way. I want to show you what is determined. Listen, he said, I want to show you what is determined. And I looked and saw the earth weighed in the balance and found wanting. There's a lot that God was looking at. And remember this. It was as written over the nations, carved in the sky itself, not by ink, but as if by fire on iron bars. And I saw this writing. It was written 5 years left. 5 years left. Not to debate, not to reform slowly, not to delay, not to repent politely, not to debate theology, not to delay. It was written 5 years left. 5 years before the collapse, 5 years before doors closing, 5 years before mercy becomes memory. And the Lord said to me these words, if you do not warn them, they will say, I never told them. So I'm warning you. So I sit here, not afraid as in shaking, but in awe of God. I'm not afraid of you, but only afraid of him. And the Lord said to me, their systems are ready. Their chains are polished. Tell them the poor and those who lack will not escape. He started giving me things in points. And he said, number one, there is the closing of the door. Hear me? It says the closing of the door. 5 years left. Listen to me and tell everyone, those who are watching, I can see a lot of people watching right now. There is a narrow door, he said, and it is closing. Church, I saw the narrow door. As I'm speaking to you, those who are not in church and the world, I saw a narrow door and people everywhere. I saw it. Brothers and sisters, this is 5 years left. I saw a door of iron with hinges, not oiled, not greased. It did not slam when closed. It was closing slowly, as if measured by years and restricted by minutes and years and weeks and months. And I saw many outside somewhere laughing, working, planning, just like the days of Noah. And in that hour, the Lord spoke to me. The Lord Jesus himself spoke to me. Just as he spoke in those days, the master of the house rose and shut the door, as it says in the book of Luke chapter number 13. As I saw this window, it was as if it was coming to a closing. It was closing. He said, ownership will be removed from many. Access will belong to the few. Movement will be monitored. Permission will replace freedom. Listen to this. You will not be punished for missing the door. You will simply be unable to enter. And if you are not strong in resources, when it shuts, you will not recover. 5 years left. Listen to this. 5 years left. This is the first warning. He said, this is the first warning. And this was not even the heaviest of the warnings. It says, you do not have long. You have 5 years before access hardens, before ownership disappears, before permission replaces freedom. Listen, listen, listen. After that, assets, these assets you own or you want to own will be unaffordable. Land will be locked behind the institutions. Rent will become permanent. I repeat, rent will become permanent. Digital currency will track obedience. Poverty will be automated. And the Lord said to me, they will not be punished they will simply be left behind. If you're ready to get resources, it's now. There are only 5 years left. After those 5 years, you'll be poor forever. You will not be rich at any given moment. The rent will be permanent. Unemployment will be we're talking about astronomical figures. Then he said, a silent job famine is coming. I saw multitudes standing idle, not because they were lazy, not because they were not learned, because they were desperate and they had already become obsolete. Their minds were measured, their speed was compared, the value was calculated, and they were found inefficient. Machines did not hurt them, systems did not curse them, they simply moved on without them. So the door was not that you did not enter. You were just left behind. It wasn't about slowness. Hope you're hearing me. 5 years left. He said, work will not save you in that day. Only ownership will speak. The rest will be ignored, and the ignored men will fed as if you are nothing. Then he gave me another point. He said, death of words, faith and value. Hear me and hear me well. In the next 5 years, words will lose value. Degrees will be worthless, and degrees are words. CVs will be worthless, and CVs are words. Sermons will be worthless, and they are words. Online arguments will be worthless because they are words. I saw people screaming truth, but no one was listening. Because the age of listening is ending. AI, automation, systems will replace anything that exists only as a language. System will judge your work, not your words. Technology will favor what can be quantified, not what can be preached. As Amos warned us in the Bible, said, I'll send famine in the land, not a famine of bread, not of thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Faith spoken without substance will collapse. Religion without proof will be raised. That's why I always say a man with a miracle is not at the mess of a man with a mere argument. Religion without proof will be raised. Only what is built, tangible, proven will survive. The Lord said to me, faith that cannot be demonstrated will be deleted by the future. I saw churches still open, but empty of power, full of speech, empty of substance, and empty of people. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, that is reduced to speeches. It doesn't matter what religion you are in. If it's reduced to speeches and sermons and not demonstration of power, if it's reduced to debates, post doctrines alone, will not survive the next phase of humanity. In James 2:17 says, faith, if it has no works, is dead. Algorithms don't fear theology. Listen to me. Systems don't respond to belief. Markets don't reward faith. Only belief that shows up physically will remain. That's what God told me in the next 5 years. The Lord asked me, where is the proof of what they claim to believe? It was a rhetorical question. I understand. Where is the proof of what they claim to believe? He said the new world will not be appeased with empty words. For the kingdom I build is not in words, but in the demonstration of power. Those who pretend to have my power will be exposed, and their influence will be narrow and void. You can read it, 1 Corinthians 4:20. The kingdom of God is not in word, but in the demonstration of power. This season that is coming within the next 5 years, preacherman, prophet, make sure you have the power to back up your words. Words will not cut it. In the coming system, poverty will be inherited faster than wealth. I saw people alive, but useless to the system. Not starving, not bleeding, just unnecessary, obsolete, like they were nothing. Millions will be unemployable, replaceable, too expensive and too slow. Degrees will age like milk. Skills without ownership will expire. Remember Revelation 13, which haunted me a lot. No one could buy or sell unless they had a mark. I'm not saying the mark is coming. I'm just giving you that scripture encapsulates what the word of the Lord was to me. And the church, exclusion is coming. People will bake systems that no longer need them, and the system will not answer. Children will be born already confined, their future prized before their first breath. I saw bones in the valley, just as Ezekiel. I saw lives without breath, alive but without power. Remember the book of Proverbs. The borrower is servant to the lender. I saw borrowers. Debt mounting, but no way to repay it. Servitude will return. Chains, legalistic. They will be legal and they will be efficient. The poor will obey, not because they believe, but because they're hungry. And I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to be part of the poor. The system, 5 years to be rich, 5 years to own resources. If you don't work in these 5 years to be that, you will suffer. Then I saw the stripping of what is called the human. The Lord said the stripping of the human. Said men will be reduced to data. I saw people measured by numbers, tracked by patterns, judged by predictions, algorithms. Their thoughts were anticipated. Their desires suggested. Their decision nudged. Even people arrested for what they are thinking to do, not what they have done. And slowly they forgot how to choose. Technology did not free them. It thinned them. Emotion weakened. Attention fractured. Memory shortened. Remember what Daniel said, knowledge shall increase, but wisdom did not. Knowledge will increase, but wisdom will not. Men became fast, but shallow. Connected, but alone. You see people sitting at table, at lunch, father, son, all of them on phones. They're not communicating, but they are happy. And he said to me, there is going to be a system without a name. They will own nothing. That's what the Lord said. They will own nothing, yet save everything. I saw a world where possession, this possession was replaced by permission. Homes that were never owned, tools that could be revoked at any time, access that could be denied overnight. Everything provided, but nothing secured. When people cried out, there was no one to answer because they had agreed to the terms. It was contractual. They agreed to it. So why are you crying? Ezekiel said, they shall know that I am in the Lord when I break the bars of their yoke. But first, the yoke must be felt. So many will not feel that they are yoked. They will be happy, but empty. Children will be born, as I said before, already trapped. No savings, no leverage, no voice, no freedom. Remember what I said? The borrower is slave to the lender. Slavery is returning, dressed as convenience. I can just go there. I can just do this. I can just do this. I can just do this. I don't need this. I can do this. I don't know if you understand. It will be dressed as convenience. Mess will be replaced by efficiency. And efficiency does not cry. I want to give you this as something that is special. When I heard this, God said, money is permission. The Lord said, money will stop being luxury. It will start being a permission. Permission to live. Permission to worship. Permission to educate your children. Permission to say no. That means if you're broke after these 5 years, you're done. You will not have permission. Money will be used as permission. I heard believers whisper prayers, not because God was silent, but because poverty made them afraid to be arrested for prayer. The poor man will still be religious, but you will need permission to practice. And when they don't have permission to practice, it's because money is not there and money has become a permission. Listen to me. And hear this. Permission can be revoked. That means your money can be revoked. And I had solutions, wasting away of solutions. And here it is. Listen to me. Buy land. Move from income to ownership, because wages will fail in the next 5 years. Build physical community, because crowds scatter, but tribes survive. Learn skills that touch reality, because what cannot be automated can be fought over. Prepare your children, and I'm preparing mine, because the word I had and the word I had is no patience for innocence. Then the Lord gave me this final collapse warning. This is not the end of the world, he said. It is the end of the world you were trained for. Hear me. Those who act now will be called extreme. Those who delay will be called desperate. Do you know people that rich people are building bunkers? What do they know that we don't know? Jesus said in Luke 21, men's hearts will fail them for fear because of what is coming upon the earth. Fear is coming, and fear is here. When the door finally closes, people will say, why didn't anyone warn us? Yet we are here talking. You were warned. I said, you were warned. But when we speak like this, as in the days of old, they look at the prophet as a fool, and the spiritual man as a madman. I deliver the message. What you do next will decide whether you survive what comes. I've delivered the message. Now, after these things, the Lord showed me something else. I saw a mark, listen, pass through the land, not on foreheads, but on systems. And wherever it passed, communities dissolved, families scattered, churches closed without persecution. This is not a laughing matter, but when you hear the Lord saying it, and the Lord said to me, I'm not destroying them, I'm removing their support. And I saw them fall. And the Lord said to me finally, tell them what must not be lost. Tell them what they must own before the door closes. Tell them, for in 5 years it will be too late. Hear this. You will sit in comfort, thinking the world will remain as it is. No. The world is already gone. Number one, on land. On land. I said on land. The Lord said to me, on the earth, on a piece of it, and protect it, for the systems will still access to the rest. Fields, orchards, pastures, plots, small or large, it doesn't matter what it is. Land is life, he said to me. Land cannot be dignified enough. It still cannot be dignified enough, even if we take it. It cannot be debated. And land cannot be digitized. Then I give you this water and energy. We spoke about this before. He said, control your water, store it, purify it, protect it. Build light where darkness will come. Wells, reservoirs, solar panels, batteries, energy that belongs to no one else cannot be stolen. Then he said, physical goods and tools. It says, stock what cannot be replaced by machines. Hand tools, construction tools, repair kits, seeds, food that lasts. Look at Bill Gates has already started building a seed bank. Medicine that works. If the power fails, if the systems fail, they will speak louder than words, or they will keep you alive. Because remember, money is access. Even these resources are access. Skills that touch reality. Learn what machines cannot learn. Learn what cannot be digitized. Carpentry, plumbing, electromasonry, animal husbandry, mechanical repair, emergency medical care. I get it. There is some inclusion that technology can do that too, to some extent. Then human connections and community. Computers can build a bridge from the mind to the heart. Build tribes that can survive together. Teach them, protect them, feed them. AI cannot hold hands. The system cannot comfort. The digital cannot defend. Then he said to me, creative and strategic power. Here the Lord said, create what cannot be copied. Invent what cannot be predicted. Think beyond the machine. Artists, inventors, strategists, knowledge. He said knowledge alone is not enough. Apply it, build, make, solve, lead. Then he said security and defense. This is protect what you own, guard what you build, defend what feeds life. And that can only happen when you have communities and when you own land. Ownership, walls, fences, weapons, alarms. Know how to act when the system fails. Trust, no permission. What I'm telling you right now, the people that know power know exactly what I'm saying. And says, be independent in finance and in your storage of wealth. They say, do not trust the invisible ledgers. Store what cannot be defended. Gold, silver, land, tools, physical wealth that cannot be taken by his word. Then it says, children and knowledge. The Lord said, teach them to survive, to know, to create, to defend. For the world ahead will have no patience for innocence. I tell you this. Do not trust any schools, and do not trust only schools. Find the best. Do not trust only the internet. Knowledge in the hands of children is life itself, if it is real knowledge that comes from the Lord. The Lord said to me these words, and I want you to listen. I want you to listen. The world will take what you do not guard. The systems will replace what you do not own. The machines will replace what you cannot demonstrate. If you do not act, you'll be left behind. And hear me, church. Hear me. All well-meaning Christians around the world and men of God around the world and Christians around the world. Hear the command: on land, on water, on energy, on tools, on skills, on community, on creativity, on defense, have licenses, on wealth that cannot be defeated, on knowledge, and teach your children. This is not advice. This is not a suggestion. This is survival. This is prophetic instruction. This is the decree from the Lord. Next 5 years. Within these 5 years, if you don't build resources, if you're not going to be rich, we'll come back here and I'll be broadcasting rich. You have 5 years. After that, you will live under what you're allowed to build. You will be replaced if you do not own. This is not a call. This is not an invitation, as I said before. This is a sentence. It's a judgment. You have 5 years to become strong enough to stand. Only 5 years. After that, you will live under what you allowed to be built around you. You will survive under the chains you built to bind you. In the next 5 years, in the next 5 years, be an owner of resources. Be strong enough financially. See, I can have many Thursday services, but this might just be a few minutes, but those few minutes are important so that you hear the mind of God within the next 5 years. If you choose to be a worker, that's up to you. But if you choose to own, you get into ownership, you have managed to destroy what the enemy has planned.